Hello, this is Skater Novus 91, and in this video, I'm going to be talking about more on how to get females in your life, and if you want to get guys in your life, or you want to have uh, anybody else in your life, like be it trans, guys or girls, doesn't matter. So, I already talked about mostly in my previous video on how you would want to get girls. It's like a sort of push and pull, but there's an in between there too. It's like push, pull, and I call it the freeze, you know? It's kind of like that. It's like shit testing, right? But not exactly how the PUAs think. See, what you want to do is you don't want to have goals towards what you want. You can see far out into the possibilities of what can become, but you don't have to think about it all the time. There's this trick that a lot of PUAs use when they basically meditate before going to approach. And it really well it works, but I don't really focus on meditation. I focus on concentration and visualization and different moods and mentalities and such. And it's pretty cool, you know? Like what you're hey mom.
Hi. How you doing?
I'm on a video right now. Just making new content. Um, yeah, I'm at my grandma's house right now, and I'll just continue talking about that. So basically, like, if you really want a girl in your life, you don't have to, like, you don't have to be f boy or kind of like a any other archetype. You can basically be who you want to be in a way. There's different mentalities and archetypes for it. You can kind of like you can be yourself in a way while being a little bit of a like not yourself, kind of putting a front, you know. And it's nice to do that because if women can do it, men can do it too. Because obviously, women are not upfront about everything that they are. It's like a free trial at first, and then later on, you kind of see their real character when you're like married or in a relationship. After a whole year, you start to see their real self. But is it really the real self? When you validate all that stuff, validation is everywhere, and that's why people don't want to be in together all the time. That's why more women have relationships than men have relationships. And I'm not here to scold women or scold men on their on their perspectives or what they're after. And really, be who you want to be, but figure out who you are your own way. Like we all figure out our own way of how we want to be, and then we figure out that we get confused, kind of in a disarray, because we feel that like doing this kind of derails the part of you that believes into the structure of society, culture, and the status quo, all that sort of stuff, you know? And that's enough for getting women in your life. I'm going to talk more about it. You want a man in your life. That's something interesting, be it if you're gay or anything like that. Like or you're a woman trying to look for a man. Honestly, what men love it when women like approach. That's what a lot of men are desiring. That's what they really like. And I've had my few instances of people, a girl or a guy approaching me. But what really is interesting here is when a girl approaches a guy. But also when a woman really understands a man, understands their thought process, and a woman that actually does love instead of use hypergamy to basically no, but I don't really believe in the structure of hypergamy, but use that in essence to like make the man feel like, oh, she only loves me for the things I do. She doesn't love me on a really sort of different level, maybe spiritual or not materialistic, but love. Men focus a lot on their straightforward love. Women are a little bit all around, all over the place, but not necessarily illogical, because emotions have logic to it too. And so basically, if you really, what you want in a man is what you want to do is like basically what you want basically is to talk and talk more, and allow the male partner or person to ask the questions and continue the gradual interesting story that shows up. Now you also have to really think about the hero's journey, because that's what men go through a lot. Women mostly have help from other females, but it depends on the looks department. But we don't have to really focus on the looks department if we're more involved in the community and involved with how we view each other. And a great thing both men and women need to do is not look into how each other work. You have to kind of create your own structure in a way, and allow your both yourselves to know more and know less. So the more you know, the less and less you know, kind of thing. Gradual, like, illusionary self development, but it's about creating a great structure of self development, so you can go into a scenario of archetypes, which you don't have to be compelled by fate all the time. And it makes you realize, hey, karma, is it really a thing? Dharma, is it really a thing? All this other jazz, is it really a thing? One thing I gotta say is, being in this area right here, in the backyard, on this chair, gives me so much creativity in a way to speak. And I'm gonna do it more. Probably gonna do stand up, maybe a little bit of comedy. I'm gonna study it a little bit, but I don't really want a virtual image around the world for how I look and stuff. How I show my perception of character. But on to the next topic is trans. If you want someone like that in your life, you got to really understand the creativity, really understand relationship dysphoria, because you will probably relate more with a person that is a transgender if you're in relationship dysphoria, where you feel like you don't know if you want to be dominant or submissive or a switch. You don't know what you want to be, so you're looking out for that kind of perspective, and you can't really find it until you basically do a lot of changes with yourself, be it if you are bi, gay, straight. Sometimes things can be romantic, a romantic attraction, or there's sexual attraction too. But honestly, if you really want to like get some interest and build a connection, you gotta really understand them, instead of just like having this conceited idea of like, oh, they're that way because it's just a phase, or oh, they're not good for society, or any of that stuff. You have to look past that. And you have to understand who they are as people, instead of just understand that, like, what the media says isn't exactly true. And yeah, like, if you really want someone like that in your life, I give you props, because like a lot of people wouldn't. Well, I don't know how many people are in that department of that have exactly gender dysphoria, or have that role, because there is a lot of straight people and bi people out there. Now, I wanted to add some extra interest to the video. I'll be talking about why there's no exact perception to this, but like, when you get near into the dysphoria of relationships, you start to find things from before that you felt in the past. You start to look back into, like, mental inquiry of the past, be it the 90s, 80s, 70s, 60s, and see, well, they did it a little different. You know, they had a little bit of a different perspective. That's quite interesting. And you start to get like this, the dysphoria starts to get solved, but more dysphoria comes, and also a little bit more topics like that's part of that is that what I said before is really don't try to understand a person so much. Don't try to look into their fine details unless you're really ready to understand that. If you really don't want to, just put up a little bit of a front, act a little bit not like yourself. Because who says you can't? We live in a multiplicity of character. And if we live in a multiplicity of character, we can act in ways we want. We can, well, I don't really condone acting like an alpha, beta, sigma, or omega, but I condone people to really explore their character and act ship, you know, actor, actor perspective. You can get into that and kind of feel a different environment of who you are, and it's pretty lit. Anyways, comment, subscribe, like, and share this video. I kind of want to get this to have good views, you know. And I love you guys, and I like you guys, and also I care about you guys, a lot of you. So see ya.